Good evening, my dear friends. Today we are going to study about a very important topic, that is municipality or urban local government, short में ULG. Before to start our class, that this is a very important area जहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं जनरली. So हम लोग आज इसको अच्छे से पढ़ लेते हैं. Before to start कुछ इसके एंगल्स देख लेते हैं कि हमें किस तरीके से इस चैप्टर को पढ़ना चाहिए. पहला एंगल होता है इसका हिस्टोरिकल डेवलपमेंट, दैट इज अबाउट हिस्ट्री. इससे क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं एंड मे बी आस्क्ड. सेकंड, दैट यू हैव टू स्टडी अबाउट 74th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 1992, द वेरियस एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द 74th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट which provided for the municipality. Then the two important topic, that is DPC and MPC, Metropolitan Planning Committee and District Planning Committee. Okay, ये important है, ये पढ़ना है. Okay, then fourth area, that is your the different types of the urban local government, that is ULG. How many types are there? There are total 8 types of ULG in India. Then the last, that various other features relating to the 74th legislation. Okay, so these are the 5 important area from where the questions are generally framed. So you prepare all these area in a nice manner. One area, it is history. Second area, that is about the legislation. Third, DPC and MPC. Fourth, different types of the ULG. And fifth area, that is about the some other aspects like the exempted areas where the provisions are not applicable. Okay, you can write here the exempted areas where the provisions of this section of the municipalities are not directly applicable. So these are the 5 areas. So let us study and understand in detail about one by one. Okay, so let us begin from here, that this municipality was provided by the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. It is a part of the concept of the local government. We have already understood in the last lecture that local government consists of 2 systems, that is Panchayati Raj institutions, and second one is the municipality. We have studied about the Panchayati Raj institutions and its various aspects, the various articles ranging from Article 243 to 243O. Then onwards, that is Article 243P to Article 243ZG. This actually deals with the municipality. So all things we will going to study in the detail. तो उसके पहले हम लोग सबसे पहले देखते हैं कि कितने टाइप्स के अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट होते हैं. ठीक है, इंडिया में 8 टाइप्स के अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट है. नंबर 1, द म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस, म्युनिसिपलिटी, नाक, टाक, कैंटोनमेंट बोर्ड, टीपी, स्पा. टी फॉर टाउनशिप, टी फॉर पोर्ट ट्रस्ट एंड स्पा. इसको इस तरह से याद रखेंगे. म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस, म्युनिसिपलिटी, नाक, नोटिफाइड एरिया कमिटी, टाक, टाउनशिप एरिया कमिटी, कैंटोनमेंट बोर्ड, टी, सा. सो टी फॉर टाउनशिप, पी फॉर पोर्ट ट्रस्ट एंड एस्पा मतलब स्पेशल पर्पस एजेंसी. All these first 7 body are basically area based. They are area based, but the last one, it is your purpose based. Last one is your purpose based. ये याद रखेंगे. So हम लोग देखेंगे इस पाक के बारे में in detail. But municipal corporation for the governance of, you can call it the big cities. बिग सिटीज में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए, गवर्नेंस के लिए म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस. इन स्मॉल सिटीज द बॉडी इज कॉल्ड म्युनिसिपलिटी. सिमिलरली टाउनशिप एरिया कमिटी, दैट नोटिफाइड एरिया कमिटी. एट द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, और यू कैन कॉल इट एट द सेंटर, द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट इज बेसिकली कंट्रोल्ड, एंड यू कैन कॉल इट इज मैनेज्ड बाय 3 मिनिस्ट्री इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. कौन से? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसको याद रखेंगे. ठीक है, सो इट इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट सेपरेटेड इन 1985. यूपी पीएससी में एक बार क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. when the Ministry of Urban Development was created. So it is 1985 when Ministry of Urban Development was created as a separate ministry. So 3 ministry involved है, 8 types के bodies होते हैं. Last one is SPA. It is basically purpose based. Clear? Now let's move further. The historical underpinnings, that is the second angle. ये chronology important है, इसमें से कुछ points याद रखना है. That 1687-88 that the first municipal corporation was established in Madras. Okay, historical underpinnings में one thing you should note that the system of municipality or urban local government have the British legacy. What? The British legacy. It means it exists during the colonial time. It existed from the colonial time. So the Britishers, they established the first municipal corporation in Madras 1687-88. Then the 1726 that in Calcutta and Bombay the municipal corporations were also established. Okay. Then there were the chronological and institutional development. इसमें से 2 important dates important है. This is the time of Mayo and Ripon. Okay. The 1870 and 1882 when these 2 viceroy. That Lord Mayo's time there was financial decentralization. ये important है. When the financial decentralization with respect to ULG comes, that it was the time of Lord Mayo. And 1882, Lord Ripon, even he was called the father of local self-government in India. Okay, he is known as the father of local self-government in India. Similarly, you know that 1909, 1919 and 1935, the piece of legislation, 1909 में कौन सा legislation आया था? It was Morley-Minto reform. You know it? Morley-Minto reform. 1909 it was Montford reform. ठीक है? And 1935 that is Government of India Act 1935. That 1919 Act, this basically talks about what? Diarchy. Diarchy means in this time the subjects of a state were divided into 2 parts, that is transport subject and रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट्स. ठीक है, तो रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट जो होते थे वो किसके पास होते थे? दैट इज ट्रांसपोर्ट सब्जेक्ट जो मिनिस्टर्स होते थे उनके कंट्रोल में था. तो ये अर्बन लोकल बॉडी भी ट्रांसपोर्ट सब्जेक्ट का पार्ट था. 1935 में प्रोविंशियल ऑटोनॉमी, जब स्टेट्स को पूरी ऑटोनॉमी दी गई, देन इट बिकम्स आल्सो अंडर द प्रोविंसेस. सो दिस वे द अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट हैड डेवलप्ड इन प्री इंडिपेंडेंस टाइम. ठीक है, the first इसमें important है, first municipal corporation was established in 1687-88 where it is Madras. Okay, you remember this table and you know these facts. Before to move ahead, can you guys are recalling ये acts सब कौन से थे? Hopefully all of you have remembered, but let's have a brief. Actually constitutional development started in 1773, that is Regulating Act. Then Charter Act. There were 3 Charter Act. It is the 1793. Before that, there is a 1784. That is Pitt's India Act. Okay. After Charter Act begin, 1793, then 1813, then 1833, then 1853. These are the phase for the Charter Act. And after the Charter Act, what? It is 1857. That is Sepoy Mutiny. After Sepoy Mutiny, this is 1858 Act, that is Government of India Act. Clear? That is also called Good Government Act. Then 1858 onward, Indian Councils Act started. Indian Council Act 1861, Indian Councils Act 1892, then Indian Councils Act 1909. It is also known as the Morley-Minto reform. Okay, the father of communalism. That is so. After 1909, that 1919 में, that was Montford reforms. 1935, that is Government of India Act 1935, and 1947, that is Indian Independence Act. So you should remember, okay, ये आपको पता होना ही चाहिए, the constitutional development वाला phase. इसको भूलेंगे नहीं. Recall it, okay. Now let's move ahead with this topic. Then in the constitutionalization phase, same as already we have studied in Panchayati Raj institution, the 3 government involved. Number 1, it was the Rajiv Gandhi government. Number 2, the VP Singh government. Number 3, the PV Narasimha Rao government. So Rajiv Gandhi government में 65th Constitutional Amendment Bill 1989 it was introduced. Date you should remember. And ultimately during the PV Narasimha Rao time में that 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 was enacted. और ये existence में कब आया? When it was in force 1st June 1993. ये important date है. This is the date of enforcement and this is the date of inaction. Okay. When it was legislated 1992. When it was enforced 1993. That is 1st June 1993. So after the 1st June 1993, that is 1 year time was given to the state urban local government को adopt करने के लिए. ठीक है, 1 year time was given to states to legislate their urban local government legislation. So this was the constitutionalization phase. So when 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 comes, then what happens? The state government now become obligatory. To constitute what? The urban local government. So significance तो पता ही है. It becomes a constitution. It was accorded a constitutional status. So let us understand some of the features about this piece of legislation. It was the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 which comes into force on 1st June. What thing? A new part is added, that is part 9A. Okay, Panchayati Raj institution याद है? Which part is added? It was part 9. For urban local body, it was 9A. Which schedule? That is 12th schedule. Articles 243P से लेकर 243ZG, and there are total 18 functional items. Okay, it becomes a justiciable part. Already we have understood justiciable part का मतलब it doesn't depends on wills of the state government. ठीक है, it does not depends on wills of the state government. Now state government are obliged to form it. They are bound to form it because it's now become a constitutional obligation. So ये second angle है, ये याद रखेंगे. Part 9 है, Schedule 12, then these are the articles, 18 functional items है, ये ध्यान रखना है. Let's move ahead and try to understand these salient features. This 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, it provided for 3-tier structure, like 3 types of body, that is called Nagar Panchayats, Municipal Council and Municipal Corporations. 3-tier structure, just like in Panchayati Raj institutions जो था, वहाँ पर 3-tier structure provide हुआ था, that is Panchayat at village level, Panchayat at intermediate level, Panchayat at district level. Similarly, this municipalities, this legislation also provided 3 types of municipality. Nagar Panchayat for the transitional areas. Nagar Panchayat for transitional areas. वैसे एरियाज जो रूरल से अर्बन में ट्रांजिशन फेज पे हैं. Those areas which are in the transition phase from the rural to urban, उन एरियाज के लिए नगर पंचायत होगा. सेकेंड म्युनिसिपल काउंसिल जो स्मॉलर अर्बन बॉडीज होगी, और यू कैन कॉल इट स्मॉल अर्बन एरियाज. और फॉर बिगर और लार्जर अर्बन एरियाज के लिए देयर इज म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन. ठीक है. सो फॉर ट्रांजिशनल एरियाज इट इज नगर पंचायत. For smaller urban areas, there is a council, and for bigger area, there is corporations. Like big cities, like you notice in the Delhi, okay, Mumbai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, all these areas you will find municipal corporation. Okay. There are the 2 important body. One is called the DPC, District Planning Committee, and Metropolitan Planning Committee. So these are the very unique and salient feature of this 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. DPC, there is an article 243 ZD, and article 43 ZE it provided for Metropolitan Planning Committee. Let's understand. ये DPC और MPC है क्या? That 74th Constitutional Amendment Act say that every state government will form a district planning committee. ठीक है? Under Article 243 ZD. Why? Because district planning committee क्या करेगा कि उस एरिया के जितने भी पंचायत हैं और जितने भी म्युनिसिपैलिटीज हैं, let's say municipalities and these are panchayat, all the municipalities and the panchayat will prepare a draft development plans. Draft development plans. So it is the DPC that will prepare a draft development plans by consolidating all the plans by municipality and panchayat. तो जितने भी म्युनिसिपैलिटीज और पंचायत जो प्लान प्रपोज करेंगे उन सबको कंसोलिडेट करके एक ड्राफ्ट डेवलपमेंट प्लान बनाएगा. दैट इज द पर्पस ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्लानिंग कमेटी. एंड दिस ड्राफ्ट डेवलपमेंट प्लान चेयरमैन ऑफ द डीपीसी इट विल फॉरवर्डेड टू स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. ठीक है? सो इट यू कैन कॉल इट द डीपीसी. इट इज द pivotal, it is a link pin for the development of that area. You can call it as a linking pin for the development of those municipality as well as the panchayat. So state government will constitute a DPC that will prepare a draft development plan by consolidating the plan proposed by the municipality and that panchayat, and it is the chairman of the DPC that will send it to the state government. Clear? Important thing is that the members of the DPC, that 4/5 of the members of the DPC are elected. Okay? They are elected and indirectly elected, you can call it. They are indirectly elected. Indirectly elected means those members who are already elected members of the municipality and the panchayat, they elect the members of the DPC. उसके बाद some members are also nominated. Okay, so DPC consists of both the elected as well as nominated members. Getting my point? So this is important thing. State government will constitute a DPC and that DPC will form a draft development plan. That plan will be sent or forwarded to state government. Now let's move to another body that is called Metropolitan Planning Committee. Like the DPC, that under the provision that every state government will constitute a Metropolitan Planning Committee in every metropolitan area. In every metropolitan area. ठीक है? In every metropolitan area. Why? The purpose is same, that it will also prepare a draft development plan for that metropolitan area, and that draft development plan will be forwarded to state government. So you can call it Metropolitan Planning Committee also acts as a link pin for the development of that area. You can call it, it acts as a link pin for the development of that area. ठीक है? Of that area. So hopefully समझ में आया. And this MPC is constituted under Article 243 ZE. This is important. If we talk about the membership of MPC, so Metropolitan Planning Committee, here 2/3 of the total members, 2/3 of the total members are indirectly elected. Members are indirectly elected. ये याद रखेंगे बस. Indirectly elected. ठीक है? So DPC और MPC के फंक्शन समझ में आया. That जितने भी लोकल प्लान्स होंगे सबको कंसोलिडेट करके एक ड्राफ्ट डेवलपमेंट प्लान बनाएगा और वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को फॉरवर्ड कर देगा. ठीक है? This is the function. Now let's move and see some more features. Now let us understand the various types of urban local government in India. Okay, we have said that how many types of urban local government in India, there are 8 types of urban local government in India. The names already we have seen, that municipal corporation, municipal council, NAC, TAC, cantonment board, the TP and SPA. So let's see a little bit about the municipal corporations. It is basically for the big cities. The municipal corporations are established under the provisions or under the state legislation. That's why they are called the statutory body. And municipality are also statutory body because state law se bante hain, and these are for the governance of small cities. If you try to understand the municipal corporations and its functioning, you have to study about the 3 authorities. कितने authority होते हैं? There are 3 authorities. ठीक है? Municipal corporations में कितने authorities होते हैं? There are 3 authorities. Number 1, there is a council. Number 2, there is a standing committee. Number 3, there is a municipal commissioner. So this council is basically the legislative body. This is a legislative body as well as a deliberative body. So this legislative body, it is headed by a mayor. The head is known as mayor and he is assisted by a deputy mayor. ठीक है? Mayor is a ornamental head. Okay? मतलब real power mayor के पास नहीं होती है. He presides over the meetings. Mayor क्या करता है? He presides over the meeting. There is another body that is called standing committee who assist that in functions of the mayor. Okay, the standing committee what ये क्या करता है? Assist करता है, facilitate करता है, ठीक है? Facilitate in the functioning of the mayors and all the decisions. The standing committee also take decisions, and all the decisions taken by the councils and standing committee are implemented by a municipal commissioner. So what is the main? It is the main executive body. You can call it main executive body. So all the decisions taken above are executed by municipal commissioner, and municipal commissioner is generally a member of Indian Administrative Service. So when you understand the municipal corporations, you should understand about these 3 authorities, that there is a council which head is known as the mayor. Mayor is an ornamental head who presides over the meeting, who also takes the decisions. Similarly, that standing committee also takes decision and who assist in the functioning of the corporation. Then all the decisions taken above are executed, implemented by, that is, municipal commissioner, and he is generally a member of Indian Administrative Service. If you talk about the small cities, that urban local government is known as municipality. Like the municipal corporation, municipality has also the 3 authorities. Number 1, there is a council. Number 2, there is a standing committee. Number 3, there is chief executive officer. That is also known as chief municipal officer. The council same as they headed by the president or the chairman. But here the council is not ornamental. ये याद रखेंगे. Not ornamental. The council is a pivotal organ. Most important decisions are taken here, and he is assisted and supported by standing committee. It is the chief executive officer whose function is to look after day-to-day administration. ठीक है? The chief executive officer का काम क्या है यहाँ पर? Day-to-day administration को देखना. So municipality को समझना है तो क्या समझेंगे हम लोग? 3 body है. There is a council, standing committee, and chief executive officer. That it is the most important. It is the council. ठीक है? In addition to these body, there is another body that is called Special Purpose Agency. That is called SPA. Special Purpose Agency basically a statutory body है because it is law of state legislature से बनता है. Second, दिस इज ए फंक्शन बेस्ड अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट। कोई स्पेसिफिक फंक्शन पर्पस के लिए बनाया जाता है, लाइक हाउसिंग बोर्ड, पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई बोर्ड एक्सेट्रा। सो एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इन 3 बॉडी के बारे में आप लोग पढ़ेंगे। दीज आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट, दैट इज म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशंस, नंबर 2 म्युनिसिपलिटी, नंबर 3 that is special purpose agency. And rest of the bodies, that is NAC, TAC, cantonment board, that is township, port trust, you can see, थोड़े बहुत देख लेना है, but exam point of view से these are predominant areas, and this is function based, all are area based body. ठीक है, so all of you are getting my point? अभी तक कोई डाउट? सो लेट्स मूव फर्दर। ये एक पोटेंट एरिया है जो इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल से रिलेटेड है। ऑलरेडी आई हैव गॉन थ्रू दैट आर्टिकल। व्हाट आर द इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल? आर्टिकल 243P से लेकर आर्टिकल 243ZG। इसमें से इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल कौन से हैं? दैट इज आर्टिकल 243ZD, दैट इज DPC, एंड ZE, दैट इज मेट्रोपॉलिटन प्लानिंग कमेटी। ये 2 इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स हैं। ठीक है, एडिशनली आप याद रख सकते हैं, बट सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या है? दैट इज DPC एंड MPC। ठीक है, हियर इज लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल आर्टिकल्स। इसको याद रखेंगे, सब ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है। दैट इज P टॉक्स अबाउट द डेफिनेशन, Q टॉक्स अबाउट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। हाँ, जनरली स्टूडेंट्स के ऊपर एक डाउट होता है कि ये आर्टिकल्स 243P से लेके ZG, बेसिकली ऑर्डर कुछ ऐसा है, P, Q, R, S, Z तक जाएगा, फिर ZA, ZB, ZC, इस तरह से ZG तक आर्टिकल्स हैं। ठीक है, इट इज ए सिली पॉइंट, बट जनरली समटाइम स्टूडेंट्स कंफ्यूज, सो डू नॉट लेट इट बी कंफ्यूजिंग। सो लेट्स मूव अहेड। नाउ लेट्स सी some more features about the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Number 1, this act provided for a 3-tier structure. Already we have seen there is Nagar Panchayat, there is municipality and municipal council and municipal corporation. ठीक है, so this is a 3-tier structure. So Nagar Panchayat basically for transitional area, municipal council generally for small urban areas, and corporation for big urban areas. Already we have gone through. Second feature about the composition. जब भी composition पढ़ेंगे इन bodies का तो 2 एंगल से पढ़ना है, एक members और एक chairpersons। ठीक है ना, तो members जो होते हैं जनरली वो सारे members either it is in Nagar Panchayat, काउंसिल और कॉर्पोरेशन, दे आर डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड बाय द पीपल। बट चेयरपर्सन के लिए केस थोड़ा डिफरेंट है। चेयरपर्सन आर इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होते हैं। ठीक है, द चेयरपर्सन आर इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड। सो फॉर द इलेक्शंस दैट ईच ऑफ द काउंसिल, कॉर्पोरेशन इज डिवाइडेड इनटू कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी एंड ईच कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी इज कॉल्ड वार्ड। व्हाट इज वार्ड? दैट इज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी। कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी को यहाँ क्या बोलते हैं? वार्ड्स बोलते हैं। ठीक है, एंड एवरी ग्रुप ऑफ वार्ड मिला के क्या बनाया जाता है? वार्ड कमिटी। वार्ड कमिटी। तो ये सब पॉइंट्स हैं। सो कॉम्पोजिशन वाला एंगल क्लियर हो। मेंबर्स डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होते हैं, चेयरपर्सन इनडायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होते हैं, और कुछ चेयरपर्सन जो लोअर लेवल पे होंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू रूल्स डिटरमाइंड बाय स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, अकॉर्डिंग टू रूल्स डिटरमाइंड बाय स्टेट गवर्नमेंट। ठीक है, ये याद रखेंगे। बट जो मेंबर्स होंगे एट ऑल द लेवल्स डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होते हैं। यहाँ पर भी रिजर्वेशन का कॉन्सेप्ट है, रिजर्वेशन वाला एंगल। तो जो पंचायती राज में था वैसा ही यहाँ पर है। द 3 एंगल यहाँ भी होते हैं, SC/ST का रिजर्वेशन, वोमेन का रिजर्वेशन एंड बैकवर्ड कास्ट का रिजर्वेशन। सो SC/ST के लिए हमेशा कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? इट इज द पॉपुलेशन रेशियो। दैट पॉपुलेशन रेशियो मतलब SC/ST का पॉपुलेशन आउट ऑफ द टोटल पॉपुलेशन कितना है, उस प्रोपोर्शन में उनको रिजर्वेशन दिया जाता है। फॉर वोमेन के लिए नॉट लेस देन 1/3 ऑफ द टोटल सीट्स। ठीक है, आइदर मेंबर्स और चेयरपर्सन, वहां पर रिजर्वेशन वोमेन के लिए नॉट लेस देन 1/3 से कम रिजर्वेशन नहीं होना है। दिस इज द रिजर्वेशन प्रोविजन गिवन. ओके, बैकवर्ड क्लास के लिए क्या है? इट इज डिसाइडेड बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. So as per the rules of the state government, the reservation for backward class would be given. So these are the rules made and provided under the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act with respect to reservation. Now, जो बॉडी बना उनका टेन्योर, नॉर्मल ड्यूरेशन कितना होगा, कितने टाइम तक वो उनका नॉर्मल पीरियड रहेगा, इसके दो एंगल है, एक नॉर्मल और एक प्रीमेच्योर डिसॉल्यूशन. सो नॉर्मल ड्यूरेशन कितने होते हैं जनरली? 5 years. एक बार बॉडी कॉन्स्टिट्यूट हो गया तो उनका लाइफ टाइम कितना होगा? 5 years के लिए. बट बॉडी प्रीमेच्योर डिजॉल्व भी हो सकता है, और प्रीमेच्योर डिजॉल्व का होगा तो दो केसेस हैं यहाँ पर, लेस देन 6 months, ठीक है, एंड मोर देन 6 months. यदि प्रीमेच्योर डिजॉल्यूशन उस समय हुआ जब 6 months से कम का टाइम है, तब वहां पर इलेक्शंस हो सकता है, मे और मे नॉट. ठीक है, इलेक्शन हो चाहे नहीं हो, दोनों ही पॉसिबिलिटी है. बट यदि अभी प्रीमेच्योर डिसॉल्यूशन हुआ, मतलब अभी 2 साल बाकी था, 3 साल बाकी था, इट में मोर देन 6 months टाइम पीरियड था, तब वहां पर क्या होगा? इलेक्शन होगा. यस. और जो न्यूली कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड बॉडी का टाइम पीरियड कितना होगा? रेस्ट ऑफ द पीरियड. ठीक है, जितना टाइम बचा हुआ था उतने पीरियड तक ULG सर्वाइव करेगा. सो दिस इज अबाउट द ड्यूरेशन ऑफ अर्बन लोकल बॉडी और अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट. नॉर्मल, that is the time duration is 5 years, premature dissolution less than 6 months and more than 6 months. ये याद रखेंगे. Now elections के लिए there is a provision for state election commission and there is a state election commissioner. State election commissioner. The state election commissioner is appointed by governor for the elections of urban local government, and it is the state election commissioner who is removed. Removal process कैसा होता है? The SEC is removed in the same process and in the same manner as the High Court judge. As a High Court judge. So thereby it is the security of the tenure. ठीक है, स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिश्नर होगा फॉर द कंडक्ट ऑफ इलेक्शंस, एंड उसका रिमूवल प्रोसेस कैसा है? सिमिलर टू दैट इन द सेम मैनर एज हाई कोर्ट का जज जिस प्रोसेस से निकाला जाता है, रिमूव किए जाते हैं, सेम प्रोसेस वुड बी एप्लीकेबल फॉर स्टेट इलेक्शन कमिश्नर. ठीक है. सिमिलरली इट इज द गवर्नर. द गवर्नर कॉन्स्टिट्यूट ए स्टेट फाइनेंस कमीशन आफ्टर एवरी 5 years. What is the function of state finance commission? It will function, it is a recommendatory body, so it provides the recommendation with respect to distribution of net proceeds of taxes between the state government and urban local government or local government. ठीक है. so net proceeds of taxes state और local government के बीच में कितने रेशियो में बटेगा, that recommendation is given by state finance commission. so state finance commission के लिए पॉइंट क्या याद रखेंगे? State Finance Commission is constituted by governor after every 5 years. Objective of State Finance Commission or purpose of State Finance Commission is to provide recommendations with respect to the distribution of net proceeds of taxes, between state government and urban local government या ULG. Then second thing, the reports or recommendation of the State Finance Commission, it will be put before state legislature. It will put before state legislature by the governor. जो भी रिपोर्ट्स होगा उसको स्टेट के असेंबली में कौन रखेगा? गवर्नर रखेगा. ठीक है. तो दोनों एंगल समझ में आया. स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन, स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन का फंक्शन क्या होता है? इलेक्शन कराना. रिमूवल प्रोसेस कैसा है? स्टेट हाई कोर्ट के जज के जैसा. स्टेट फाइनेंस कमीशन का पर्पस क्या है? दैट रिकमेंडेशन विद रेस्पेक्ट टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ नेट प्रोसीड्स ऑफ टैक्सेस बिटवीन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट. 5 year टर्म्स के बाद गवर्नर कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करता है, एंड द रिकमेंडेशन पेपर और रिपोर्ट विल बी सबमिटेड बिफोर स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर बाय द गवर्नर. ओके. स्टेट फाइनेंस कमीशन रिकमेंड विद रेस्पेक्ट टू साउंड फाइनेंस. With respect to sound finance, okay, or any matter referred to it by the governor, that State Finance Commission will recommend accordingly. Now let's move. The powers and functions given to urban local government. Already we have understood that it is the state government that will endow power and authority to the local government so that they can function as an institution of what? Self government. So power and function state government किस लिए देगा? For planning and for implementation. So planning for economic development, and second social justice. Okay? So for these two purposes, the state government will give power to the urban local government for economic development and social justice. Okay? Now the provisions of this part, is it applicable to union territory? Yes, it is the president. ये point याद रखेंगे. President can extend or president can allow to apply the provision of this part to union territory. So it is the president, not the parliament. But for exempted area means for, let's say, scheduled areas plus tribal areas, the provisions of the 12th schedule are not applicable. So in these areas, the 12th schedule provisions are not applicable. But it is the parliament. Parliament can allow to apply the provisions into scheduled areas or with modification. Modify करके उनकी कुछ प्रोविजन को शेड्यूल्ड एरियाज ट्रांसफर और ट्राइबल एरियाज में अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, बट किसके परमिशन से? इट इज द पार्लियामेंट. बट यदि यूनियन टेरिटरी है तो इट इज द प्रेसिडेंट, ये याद रखेंगे. सो यूनियन टेरिटरी में अप्लाई करना हो तो प्रेसिडेंट, और एग्जेम्प्टेड एरिया, शेड्यूल्ड एरिया, ट्राइबल एरियाज में करना हो तो किसके पास अथॉरिटी है? द पार्लियामेंट के पास. सो these are the certain features with respect to the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. So, my dear friends, we have understood the various aspects, the various provisions of the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. In the previous class, we have understood about the Panchayati Raj institutions. Today, we have understood about the urban local government, the various aspects. These aspects are very important from the exam point of view. So please revise, try to remember all the facts. So with this note, let us conclude our today's class that the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act provided for the urban local government in India. So urban local government, there are the 8 urban local government. There are 8 types of urban local government in India, and each type provided for the 7 out of which the 7 are area based, and last one, that is your SPA, is basically from the purpose based. Okay, the various features and some of the unique features that it provided for district planning committee and metropolitan area. There is a metropolitan planning committee. The purpose of district planning committee is to prepare the draft development plan after consolidating the plans from the municipalities as well as the panchayats. These draft development plans are sent or forwarded to state government, thereby acting as a linking pin for the development of the area. Similarly, in the metropolitan area, there is a metropolitan planning committee. While understanding the municipal corporations, there are the 3 authorities. There is a council, there is a standing committee, and there is a municipal commissioner. The council is a deliberative and legislative body, and it is facilitated by the standing committee, and the executive officer is the municipal commissioner. The provisions are not applicable in certain areas that are known as exempted areas. In the exempted areas with modification, it is the parliament that can allow its applications. but in case of union territory, it is the president which allow to extend the provisions of this part into the union territory area. So hopefully these lectures will help you to understand and consolidate rest of the concepts. In the next class, we will take up the PESA Act or some of the acts and some of the other areas relating to this local government topic. So this topic is frequently asked in the exam. The 2-3 questions generally asked from this exam. This is an easy topic to remember. So keep revising. Try to keep it in a consolidated way. So सारे angles को हमने देखा, सबको समझा, and let us conclude our today class. So with the one line note कि पढ़ते रहें. Do not squander your time because the time is money, and try to revise the things, क्योंकि जितने आसानी से समझ में आता है उतने आसानी से भी आप भूल जाते हैं. So try to get it into your subconscious mind. So take care, good luck, and last but not the least, if there is any genuine doubt, you can leave it in the comment. जवाब उसका हम देंगे. Okay, so take care, goodbye, have a good day.